Hello everyone and welcome to our weather update on June 18th, 2025. So starting off today, we have clear spells in the south, but in the north and Midlands it's still quite cloudy. However, this should be the last incursion of cloud from the west until about Sunday, as an area of high to the south finally exerts its influence over the whole of the country. So here is the UKV Harris chart forecast. So today, as you can see, sunshine gradually edges northwards across all parts of the country today. By 3 p.m, only the very far north of Leinster, Connacht and Ulster have clouds, with patchy rain confined to the far north coast. Into tonight, it's widely clear tonight away from the west and north. That is just some low cloud pushing in from the sea. And by morning, clear spells, possibly some fog patches in parts of the West Midlands. Through tomorrow, it's a sunny day, very widely, with the exception of some high cloud pushing in at times from the south. That'll just turn the sunshine a bit hazy for a time, but otherwise, back to sunshine and very warm. Into Friday morning, a few showers start pushing up from the south, but they clear away to leave a nice day with some decent sunny spells. Again, very warm. Saturday, again, starting off, Saturday's a bit cloudier, as we start to see an area of low pressure start to push in from the west, and a few showers might break out on Saturday, some of these heavy and thundery. And on Sunday, we do see a temporary, at least, breakdown of the high pressure system, with this band of rain pushing in from the west. Here is the temperature forecast from the UKV. So again, today, Wednesday. Wednesday is quite warm, with highest temperatures of around, in the north, 13 to 16 Celsius, but elsewhere, 19 to 20 to 22 or possibly 23 Celsius, warmest in the West Midlands there. Into the evening and overnight, quite chilly, under clear skies, but tomorrow, Thursday, very warm day with highest temperatures of around 21 to 26 degrees. Highest values are in Connacht and Westminster. Very warm tomorrow, and parts of the British Midlands getting up to 31 degrees there. So very hot Thursday. Thursday night will be a very warm night, bad for sleeping. Lowest temperatures of around 15 to 18 degrees. Very warm night, really awful. And parts of like West Wales, Devon, Cornwall, parts of like Manchester up towards Cumbria, that region there. In the UK, not getting down below 19 degrees. Some areas holding on to 20 degrees overnight, and that will make it a tropical night. Into Friday itself, again, as you can imagine, very warm and humid as well. Highest temperatures of 20 degrees on the south coast there, up to 26 degrees, possibly reaching 27, given any longer sunny spells. Probably not, but there is a possibility. Again, in the UK, you're widely in the high 20s, some areas 30, 31 degrees, hot. Into Saturday morning, a bit cooler than Friday morning. Saturday itself will be cooling down a bit. Highs in Munster and Connacht of around 18 to 20 degrees, but in Leinster and Ulster, still 20 to 24 degrees. So still very warm there. And the warmth in the UK is also shifting eastwards towards places like Kent, London, Cambridge, towards Lincolnshire, into Derby area, and up into parts of the northeast there, and into Sunday morning. It goes a bit cooler again, but that's by no means cool. Just by comparison to Friday morning, and then Sunday itself, westerly winds come through, showery rain, back to the high teens. Everyone, so here's the GFS midnight run. GFS, again. By Thursday, Friday, we get this very warm flow from the south, hence the very warm temperatures there. Into the weekends, we do see this trough coming through, and next week starts off a bit showery from the west. it stays westerly until the end of the week before we see another ridge from the Azores High. Although that one, once again, the north will keep seeing some southwesterly winds and therefore some clouds and outbreaks of rain, unfortunately. And into the end of June, start of July, it stays westerly, it's showery. The GFS run is very different to the other runs, because other runs quickly bring it back, the warm weather. It does for a time, but mainly this GFS run goes for westerly energy. Here's the ECM from last night. Once again, very warm through the weekends, through Thursday, Friday and Saturday at least, but Sunday's a bit cooler with westerly winds, a few showers at times, quite cloudy. Same on Monday, quite warm, but Monday I think in the east, quite warm actually, in those temperatures there. But probably quite cloudy with only a few sunny spells. Into next week, it stays quite, well, next Tuesday it gets dry warm again, but that's broken down on Wednesday. Thursday is a bit settles. Friday's back to Azores High, ridging up, and it goes really warm again. So the ECM last night at least still went for a lot of ridging from the Azores High. I wonder what this morning's run will show though. Here's the UK Met run once again. Very warm Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Southerly winds, high to the east, low to the west. But then that low to the west will break through, and in will push some at first showers and possibly storms. Then a band of rain on Sunday. And we're left in a quite moist southwesterly flow on Sunday evening. And beyond that, well, it's a bit messed up really. That Azores High Ridge is kind of weak and will definitely be cut off by that low there. Here's the GEM. Once again, going very warm through tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. Upper temperatures are very warm. The plus 20 Celsius ice storm does touch the British South Coast there on Sunday there. Yeah. But beyond that, we do break through the westerlies. Very weakly, the GEM has always been the least bullish about breaking it down, so I wouldn't take this too seriously. It probably will properly break down, at least for a time. And then, but the GEM also doesn't really bring back any ridge. It does try and ridge into France, but that for us just translates into a strong southwesterly flow. Very warm and humid, yes, but plenty of rain. And here's the icon. The icon, again, very warm. It's the weekend, but that is broken down. And by next week, very westerly. Yeah, I must say, guys, today the models have backed off the idea of bringing the warmth back quickly. Unfortunately, and here's the arpege. Very warm through Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Up comes those warm temperatures. The plus 20 Celsius ice storm gets as far north as Norwich there on Sunday. And by Sunday morning, we once again are back to westerly winds. So, yes, unfortunately, a downgrade this morning. Let's look at the GFS ensembles. Last night's run, that one's not fully out yet, is it? Well, it's enough. So here's the midnight GFS ensembles. So, as you can see, okay, we got this very warm spell coming up right now through like Thursday, Friday, and of the weekend. But that goes away start of the week, and then the average temperatures do hover above average, but a lot of scatters in there. So while some runs will ridge the high back in, others clearly just keep it westerly there. But I think even if it is westerly, that the Azores High will be quite close, and that will allow a southerly component to the westerly. So very sort of like moist, humid flow with plenty of warm fronts, if you know what I mean. But still unsettles. And this brings back a memory actually. Through the spring, the long-range seasonal models did show temperature anomalies for the summer to be above average, but the precip anomalies also higher as well. So a warm but wet summer, and this pattern with the Azores side trying to ridge in, a few days of warm weather, but then quickly we break. West has come through in the end. Atlantic breaks through for a few days. Then we get a long stretch southwesterly flow, warm sector, then back to the Azores side ridging in. Yes, it is a settled summer, but very warm. The main direction of the wind is between south and west. So yeah, very warm summer. So maybe this is the pattern that will occur in the summer. At this point, honestly, it's way too early to tell. But what will happen in July? It's only mid-June, but just given what the model showed in spring and the pattern now is conducive to that. I'll tell you that. In the spring, I'm kind of going back on yesterday what I said, but in the spring we had consistent Azores high reaching it right over us, but now in June it appears that there is a lot more energy to our west, and basically what will happen is the highs have a much harder time fending them off. So while we could see the spring pattern continuing a bit, it won't be the same because of the increased westerly energy. Again, speculation. See you later on. Bye for now.